Hello there and welcome to this exciting tutorial. In this tutorial, we are going to be comparing text translators, that is text translation, that is between Chatgpt, then Google Translate, and then we shall also compare that with WebTran. Google Translate is famous for all the languages. If you notice here, we have all these languages options which you can select for Google Translate, that is either as the source language or even as the target language to be translated. And then we have the Swahili to English translator from webtran.eu. Today we are going to be using it for Swahili translation, but you also notice that it has all these other languages which can also be used for either translation as the source or as the target language. So let's begin with Google Translate. Now, once you come to platform.openai.com/examples, you look for translator. So English to other languages. So here we have the prompt, and the prompt here is the example they have used to do a translation. So translate this into French, Spanish, and Japanese. What rooms do you have available? And the sample responses are given here, that is from French, Spanish, and from Japanese. On this side, you see the settings, and this is what it took to generate that. So here on the settings, you see what it took to generate. To get the details, you can click on Open in Playground. But before that, down here, you see the API request, which is more of a coding on how that generation came to being. Now, to get more details, you click on Open in Playground. Here we have it again, translate into French, Spanish, and Japanese. Now, on our right-hand side, down here, you can see the model. So here are the details that were there just in summary, so up to the end. But in this case now, we have the model here. If you just click on one, maybe text DaVinci 003, most capable model in GPT-3 series, can perform any task the other GPT-3 model can often, with higher quality, longer output, and better instruction following, and it can process up to 4,000 tokens per request. So this is, let's just use this text DaVinci 003, but you can also try all these other models, like this one, text Ada.001, capable of simple tasks, usually the fastest model in GPT-3 series and lowest cost. So let's just use the first one. Now, to compare these three, we are going to be translating from English to Swahili, and we are going to use a text that we already know the correct human translation. So we still do the translation, but for this part, we translate this from Swahili into English, and then we are going to change this sentence into something else. So we are going to say mtoto amelala, which typically means the baby is asleep or the baby is sleeping. Then I'll submit that and see the translation. That is it. The child is sleeping. That is for ChatGPT. Let me do the same thing using webtran.eu. I'll simply paste the same text here, mtoto amelala. Then I'll click on translate. And there it is. The baby is asleep, which is the same with the one we have gotten here. The baby is sleeping. So the two, that is ChatGPT and WebTran, that is used to translate from, in this case, we have selected from Swahili to English, have gotten the same thing. Let's go to Google Translate. So we are going to put our text here again, mtoto amelala, and automatically it has given us the child sleeping. So now comparing the three, for Google Translate, the answer is the child is sleeping. For WebTran, it is the baby down here. The baby is asleep. In terms of meaning, it is the same. The baby is sleeping or the baby is asleep. Now for ChatGPT, the answer again is the child is sleeping. So you realize that for Google Translate and for Chatgpt, the answer is the same. But for WebTran, it's a bit different, although the meaning is the same. To get the accuracy of each, we are going to complicate this a bit and see which one will decode that. We come back to Chatgpt, and now we are going to change this sentence into a different tense. Let's say mtoto atalala, which basically means the baby will sleep. This is the future tense. The baby will sleep. Let me copy that in readiness to paste in the others. Let's get the result here. Translate that. Mtoto atalala. It indicates that the child is sleeping, which is not accurate. Mtoto atalala simply means the baby will sleep, future tense. In this case, it is indicating the child is sleeping, which is present continuous tense. So for Chatgpt, the translation here is not accurate. Let's go to webtran.eu. We delete what we had before for both. Then we paste the same question. Mtoto atalala. We click on translate, and there it is. The baby will sleep, which is accurate. Mtoto atalala, future tense, and the baby will sleep is the accurate translation because it shows the future tense here, will. Let's try that also with Google Translate. So let's delete this, and we paste mtoto atalala, and here it is. The child will sleep. So you notice there's a similarity between WebTran and Google Translate. They have given us the same answer. But coming to Chatgpt, the answer is different. Now, to be safe, you just need to use the Chatgpt up here without the beta because of those settings. So for the part that we saw as if Chatgpt was not accurate, let's try it on the usual side, where we just type there, translate from Swahili to English. Then we give it the sentence, mtoto hajalala, and then we click that. There it is. It has now translated that very accurately. That is for Chatgpt. Mtoto hajalala translates to the child has not slept or the child is not sleeping. Therefore, I believe you need to know when to use this part of the Chatgpt as opposed to using the playground part where you have things to change here and you may not get the exact thing that you may need. So between the three, again, we now notice the three are so powerful in terms of accuracy, but each has its own little shortcomings. But for Chatgpt, we notice that it's very accurate when you use it on this other side, and as opposed to using it in the playground. And then for Google Translate, it's very straightforward, the same way as for WebTran and the same way as for Chatgpt, as long as you don't use it in the side of the playground. I hope this video has been of great help. Kindly like this video, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel.